Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. It is finally spring. I cannot believe it. So like films, things to do, activities. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know on a very special surprise. My books, Sanguine and Nothing Hurts Like a Girl, are now available at Barnes & Nobles. So you can find my book on Barnes & Nobles. Like, I cannot believe this has been 3 years in the making and it's finally come true, and I'm so proud of it. If you want to support artists like me, you can purchase my book now at Barnes & Noble. The first one that I want to go through is The Book of Secrets by Deepak Chopra. Every life is a book of secrets, ready to be opened. We all want to know how to find a soulmate, which career to be most fulfilling, how to teach our children well. We're looking for a personal breakthrough, a turning point, a revelation that brings with it new beginnings. This is more of like, I'd put in the self-development category, so if that strikes your interest, then I would go for it. Also, the cover with the butterfly is giving very much spring, by William Goldman. Funny enough, I actually met the actor that says Inconceivable. I met him actually it's been more than that now. I met him in 2022 at the book review bookshop right by the British Museum. I love this edition because this is the 30th limited edition, and just look at that. It has the famous slogan right there, as you wish. And like, look at the detailing. Honestly, I don't mind sprayed edges if it can deliver something as magnetic as this. Like, this is insane. This one is a great love story of adventure, takes place in like the medieval era, and the characters are so charming and timeless. I love the film adaptation as well. Next is a pick from my book club. If you haven't noticed, I started a virtual book club you can join at Fable. The pick for March is The Monk by Matthew Lewis. The Monk is a sensational story of temptation, depravity, a masterpiece of Gothic fiction. Also, I'm doing reading sprints on Patreon, but don't we like a bit of nonsense literature? Like, who doesn't? So Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This is a European edition, but it also has illustrations inside, which I absolutely love. On the same road of children's books, this is another one, Heidi by Joanna Spyri. The cover is giving so spring, like it's so beautiful, like the back as well. Of course, we're gonna read some poetry during the spring season. This is Emily Dickinson. I heard about Emily Dickinson a few times by a few booktubers, and they mentioned that she has really great spring poetry. Look at the cover, it's also giving spring vibes as well. But as far as I've read it, I am on page 42. I really love the simplicity and the beauty and the love poems that she absolutely was so intricate, detailed with nature. Kind of unrelated to spring, but I think The Garden of Earthly Delights very much reminds me of spring. So this is Hermione's Booth. This is The Garden of Earthly Delights. I got this at a secondhand shop. Next, for my girlies who love fantasy, this is Paladin's Grace by T.K. Fisher. The cover is what really sold me. This is a whimsical, cozy fantasy, and I think this would be so perfect to read for spring. While foraging for startle flower, Perfumer Grace finds herself pursued by ruffians and rescued by a handsome paladin in shining armor. Only to outwit her hunters, they must pretend to be doing something very unrespectable in the alleyway. This sounds like so much fun. This also reminds me of another book, Once Upon a Broken Heart. I need to buy that series because I see it so many times at the bookstore, but I just kind of neglect it. But I think it would be such a fun read. So first we're going to go through films. Now, I have quite a few films that I absolutely love to watch in the spring, and it's kind of like a ritual now, I would say. Especially this movie Romeo and Juliet. I watch this film religiously every spring. I don't know why. It's just kind of become a thing back in 2021. And that was the first initial time I watched the film, and ever since then I just fell in love with it, so I highly recommend this one. Next recommendation will be Jane Austen's Emma. This film is so funny. You will have such a good time. The pastel colors in this film are so exquisite and so on point, and the cast for this film I think is phenomenal, and so this film has so many spring-esque elements in it. Next is a film that I just watched. The whole aesthetic, the way she just did this whole film, I think it was Sofia Coppola that directed this film. She did amazing. Next is The Slipper and the Rose. This one is a retelling of Cinderella in the best way. There's so many retellings of Cinderella that I adore. This one specifically stands out to me in just a more nostalgic feel. Now we're going a little bit more PG-13 with our film selection. This one is Bambi. I absolutely love Bambi. This is such a sweet, wholesome film, and I feel like it just helps if you're having anxiety, if you're having any moments of unsettlement. This film will literally be your antidote. Tuck Everlasting. This one was a little bit more on the sad side, but I did like it, and it very much reminded me of spring, so I do recommend this one. The last film that I would recommend is Midnight Summer's Dream. This one is another William Shakespeare, and this is the old version, the black and white version, and it's kind of fever dream-esque. When I was watching this, I was like, well, it's so it reminds me so much of old fairy tales, kind of like the Grimm fairy tales. But yeah, I love this one so much. Next is things to do. So I would like to share what I'm doing this spring. So I was planning a trip to New York. It's still up in the air, hasn't been confirmed yet, but a trip to Scotland is in the works. I highly recommend to go to the Scotland Festival. I just think the Isle of Man, in the spring, would just be so perfect. Also going to London parks in the spring, Regent's Park in the spring, St. James Park, Hyde Park. So beautiful. The blossoms, all the flowers, the buds, the birds singing. It's such a daydream. Also, another thing is Renaissance fairs. I know a lot of them take place in the spring, and I went to one a couple years ago in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this one was at Craig Ranch, and funny enough, you can actually meet the cast from the Pirates of the Caribbean. I've met a couple cast members, so random, because I was just going to this Renaissance fair just for fun, but had no idea that the actors would actually be there, so that was fun. And I know they have another one in LA that's very popular. I really would like to go, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it. Every year I say I want to go to these Renaissance fairs in the West Coast, and I just never make it over there. I went there in 2024, and it was so divine. I absolutely loved it, so I highly recommend this place to go. Also, the Cotswolds is also another place I want to go so bad, because if you remember the old film from the 60s, Dr. Dolittle, the beginning scene when they're singing and running around the village, that scene is in the Cotswolds. So I have to go also because of that, and I love that film so much. I think that's also a really good spring film as well. Also, I don't know if any of you guys celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but since it is March, Darby O'Gill and the Little People, the best film ever. This film is so nostalgic to me. I watched this as a little kid, and I was so terrified of the banshee. It was so scary. It literally petrified me for years, that every night that I went to sleep, I literally thought the banshee was gonna come and get me. Next is things to do. So on my recommendations is the obvious Jane Austen picnic. So take your friends out, get your cameras, get your teapots and kettles, and all commence a beautiful floral-esque 18th century tea party. Like, oh my god, I can't think of a better activity to do than that. Also, just frolicking in your favorite dress. Wear a floral dress or something vintage or a corset and just run around like a little kid. We all need to bring some whimsy back into our lives. So don't make fun of me, because it's actually therapeutic to wear your favorite dress and to just frolic. Also, another thing is to visit museums. There's so many museums that I absolutely love. The Wallace Museum comes to mind. It kind of gives like spring vibe. So if you love that, I highly recommend the Wallace Museum. And also the gallery in London at Trafalgar Square. God tier. Another thing I like to do to create some whimsy in my life is to listen to classical music. So I like to listen to Swan Lake soundtrack. I like to listen to the Nutcracker soundtrack. Especially when I'm writing, I like to listen to classical music. I don't know, it just like does something to my cognitive competence where I just write a lot better when I listen to classical music. Another thing that I heard is this thing called Elizabeth Bennet walk, because Elizabeth Bennet is very fond of walking. So you can take this into, I guess, your daily habits, because we all exercise anyway, but you can make this as a theme, like Elizabeth Bennet walk. So you can go out and while you're walking, bring your favorite book, wear your favorite dress, and just pretend you're the main character. It's so important to keep in mind to really nurture your soul, really nurture your spirit and mind like a garden this spring, and really take care of yourself. I think spring is a great rebirth, transformation, metamorphosis time to really curate what you want to bring with you for the rest of the year. And anything that's cathartic, anything that's going to help you open your eyes to the beauty of life, the simplicity, and slowing down a little bit and not feeling the rush to hurry up and go, because we all have busy lives. But I feel like it's so important to slow down time a bit and just read a book and just have a picnic, hang out with friends, and really just enjoy life, because every day of your life adds up to weeks, months, years, and that's literally your life. Like, so many times I feel like we find the mundane so boring and dull, but for me, one of my life hacks is to just romanticize life every day, because every day being alive is a reason to celebrate, not just for the special occasions. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you got anything out of it. Please comment, like, and share this video. And like I said, if you want to order my book on Barnes & Noble, it is available now, also on Waterstones and Blackwells and Foils and Amazon. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I love you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.